We finally made it out west of Enterprise, Utah. We're about, I don't know, 15-20 miles west of there. We're now in Iron County, not Washington County, and you can see behind me, if you've watched the videos from Adventures with Shadow or Currently Rockhounding, this is one of the areas where they were finding the Indian Blanket Jasper. And hopefully we will do the same. And let's get our bucket and our rock hammer and we'll go over and walk the edges of the road down and back and see what we come up with. Washes like this, particularly after a good rainstorm like last night, this morning, are good for checking. So here's a piece. Pretty nice. I like this one, although it's really small. I think I'll leave it. Definitely interesting. It's worth a try to get something out of that. There's some of that lighter colored, which I'm not especially interested in, but it is nice quality. That this Indian Blanket Jasper was mixed in with the road fill, so any place that they would have used fill, which includes this entire length of drainage right here. Don't forget that not only look at the surface up here and the little where the dirt's been pushed back by the grader, but you have to look at this entire bank. This entire bank has a high probability of having Indian Blanket Jasper in it. So you can see that when you get down on this, there's the level of the road right there, but as you go down this fill, that there is it's either Indian Blanket Jasper that is in the fill or has washed down off the road, is here in this embankment. So make sure you check that as you look around. I've probably said this in another video segment. I'll probably say it in a lot of video segments, but the material here, while it's pretty nice, it seems like the nicest stuff is actually very small. And I suppose if you're putting fill on a road, you're not going to want, brick-sized pieces of rock in the road, making it like a cobblestone street. So I can understand why everything is so smashed up. Now, I don't know if you can see that very well, but those lines like that, I found that over by the reservoir at Enterprise. It comes out of the actual ash layers. These little rocks are included in the ash fall, and I have tried to tumble some of these. They don't tumble badly. They're just, nothing really to write home about. It's a nice little piece, but I think I'll leave it for the next person. Keep my shadow out of the way so the light can reflect off these rocks. Get a nice shine from these pieces of jasper because of all the silica in them. look at this washout. I don't know, I didn't say before, but as I came in yesterday to the campground at Gunlock, I noticed there was a lot of evidence of a heavy rain. There were pieces of, or sheets of mud washed into the road, just evidence of a really heavy rain. And then this morning I had a delay coming up here because it rained for about 20 minutes, and I think actually Enterprise got even more than Gunlock did. So I was hoping today, if nothing new was washed out, at least the dust would be washed off the rocks up here. And you see there's material that's very evident here in the road. Not because there's so much of it, you can sort of afford to be a little picky. Pretty nice material, but there's a lot of that material around, and me without my rock hammer. I'm going to get my rock hammer and come back and check that rock out. Much bigger than I envisioned it being. Yeah, I think that was worth the dig, though. Since this is a county road, try and at least backfill some of the holes. Here is a selection of the material that I found along old Route 120. This is all Indian Blanket Jasper, and unfortunately, you can see here from the size of my hand that some of the really nicest material, like this one, something like this, which I think is the nicest material, is unfortunately all very small. It was road fill. It's been crushed up to be used as road fill, and so the material I'm finding is very small. You can still work with this, make jewelry out of it. Probably something like this you might be able to get a couple of cabochons out of. Something like this, which I really like. I wish I could find a softball size version of this, but I think that perhaps putting this on the cab machine and grinding it down to kind of a teardrop shaped piece might be able to put that on a jump ring and make a little necklace out of it. Some of the larger pieces that I found, I did find pieces that were, a couple of inches across, well, 6-8 inches across, but they were generally sort of a uniform color like this, white or this butterscotch color. Did find a few banded pieces. This is a little more rough material. It's not as smooth and waxy as some of these other pieces like this. Very waxy feeling. Nice look to it. But again, fairly small, not a lot you can do with that. Yeah. Nice colors in these. They're just, like I said, very small. Maybe at some point, if I get these worked into some sort of cabochons, I can bring them out and show you. Here's a piece that's fairly uniform, but it does have some stripes, and it kind of reminds me of Picasso marble. So anyway, those are the highlights. Now, I did want to have one update on this location. Recently, I did check the federal mineral claims maps, and this area has been put under federal mineral claim. I don't know how a mineral claim interacts with a county right-of-way, but I would just advise caution before you go out and try and do any collecting at this location. Perhaps call the county or the BLM and get some sort of clarification over how that claim affects rockhounding on this area. Anyway, that's it for this location, and hopefully I'll go out and check some nearby locations later at some point. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any comments about the material we found, the uses for it, how we can use some of these smaller pieces to perhaps make something interesting, or if you have any information about the interaction between federal mineral claims and county property, I would sure appreciate the discussion. Thanks.